in one of the example, what we have specified, we are relating one object to the another object. We are relating one object to the another object. So what's the purpose of providing a relationship between two different objects? Okay, so why we need to create a related objects? So yesterday we discussed about account and contact, and then teacher and then student, then after school and then student. So resource and project. So then after resource and some company. So we are having multiple objects, and we are like discussing about different types of relations. Why we need to go with these relation, and how we can create relationship between two different objects. So those topics we can cover it first off, and then we can go with the different types of relationship fields in our Salesforce. So first of all, I would like to go with why we need to create a relationship between these two objects. So yesterday we went through one of the example, that is account and then contact, account and then contact. So in these account object, what we are going to store? We are storing about company information. Okay, and then so within this company information, if I would like to represent any of the persons who is working in that company, if I would like to reach out to the corresponding company representatives, the representative details I am storing as a contact. The representative details I am storing as a contact here. So the thing is, why we need to create these many objects in the sense. So in these account, right, I'm clearly specifying I'm storing only company information. Okay. So what about company and then company details? So all the details I'm capturing under account object. And then who is working in that company, I'm capturing under account object. If I'm trying to store both the details in the same record, then what happened? So now I'm trying to create a new form here, right? New account record here, right? Generally, what happened? By default, it is having company information. Along with this, we need to store contact information as well. So when you're trying to read out company information as well as the contact information in a single record, it's difficult to read out. Okay. For example, now I need to go with the billing address of this account. Then what happened? Then simply I'm navigating where is this billing account, billing address, and then I can get the details. But the thing is, within the same record, if I'm having contact as well, then it may be keep on adding the details here. Simply we are having multiple details that we need to capture. Similar way, for one of the contact, we are storing these details. For second contact also, we are storing these details. Maybe if I'm having 3 contacts or 4 contacts or 5 contacts, so if I'm having 10 contacts, for each and every contact, we need to store these account details as well. Okay, so yesterday we went through these Excel, right? So at the time, what happened? Within this Excel, what happened? We are storing same details multiple times. Whatever the product we have purchased, same details we are storing multiple times. Rather than storing these details multiple times, what we are decided? We are decided to create two different objects. One object is basically company information, and another object is basically the contact person. So now, how to establish a relationship between these two objects? So now what happened, right? I'm creating an account record. Within this account record, name of the company, and then so now I'm going to give the some of the ID. So whenever record is created in Salesforce, by default ID generated. It is a unique identification. For example, in India, we are having an Aadhaar, right? Similar way, whenever record is created in Salesforce, by default ID generated. Salesforce will generate an ID. So now, if you see any of the record in Salesforce, right, you can see ID here in this URL. Okay. So whenever record is created, so ID by default generated by Salesforce. If you go for our student records as well, within the student record also, ID generated. Okay. So these ID is basically 15 digit and then 18 digit. So ID is basically having 15 digit as well as 18 digit. Okay, 15 digit and then 18 digit both are same. 15 digit and then 18 digit both are same. Only the difference is 15 digit is case sensitive and then 18 digit is case insensitive. 15 digit is case sensitive and then 18 digit is case insensitive. Then why we need to use 15 digit and then 18 digit? Why Salesforce providing these two types of IDs? Okay, so that means if you would like to refer internally, then you go with 15 digit ID. If you would like to refer these record ID externally in the sense, maybe some another application trying to access our data, some another application trying to access our data. At that time, we are providing 18 digit ID. For internal purpose, we can use a 15 digit ID. For external purpose, we can refer 18 digit ID. Okay, but 15 digit ID and then 18 digit ID both are same. 15 digit ID is basically case sensitive and 18 digit ID is basically case insensitive. Okay, so now like for each and every record, these IDs got created. Now in the case of like account and contact and then whatever the object we have created, for each and every object, for each and every record, ID will be generated. Salesforce having some separate algorithm. Based on the algorithm, these IDs got generated and it is unique. Okay, ID is unique and it is like uh, creating for each and every record by default. No need to create manually. By default, Salesforce will generate these IDs. So now coming to our account, right? Within this account, whenever record is created, by default, these account having an ID field. By default, these account having an ID field. Okay, so now simply I'm going with the name and then first of all I go with the ID and then name. So then after I'm like navigating some other fields like type and then phone number. So these are account fields. Now coming to contact also having an ID and then so we need to provide a relationship between these contact and then account. For that, simply I'm going with the account ID. Then after whatever the like contact fields we are having, first name and then last name. So then after email and then phone, all these fields are available in this contact. So now what happened, right? So in these account, we are having records like this. Maybe like some Samsung. The ID is basically some ABC 123. ID is like this, and then company name is Samsung. Then after type is some customer, and then phone number is 1234. Similar way, one more record is available. So ID is basically CDCA 234 and some Sony. Then after type is customer, phone number is 2345. So now I would like to create a contacts under this account. For this one, right? What we can do? So the ID of this contact is basically some different ID 234, and then next field is basically account ID. So whatever the account ID available here, right? That we are going to refer here. So why we are choosing these ID in the sense it is in a unique value. It is a unique value and it is generated by Salesforce. That's why we are storing these account ID in our child record. If you're storing these account ID in our child record, right? Then automatically what happens? With the help of these ID, we can easily identify what is our parent record. So for that purpose, we are storing parent ID value in our child record. So then after remaining fields, we are going to store as it is. Maybe like first name and then last name. Then after like a mail and then phone number. So whatever the values, we are like simply storing like this. Similar way, I'm going to create a one more contact under this one. So we are referring same ID here, and then some different first name and then last name and then phone number. So email ID like this. So if you're like specifying these ID, right, that means it is a child of corresponding record. It is a child of corresponding record. So here what happened, with the help of these ID, I can get. So it is like the corresponding parent account name, type, phone number, all these values we can refer. So now what happened? So it is like ABC123. From this ABC123, I can identify what is parent record. What is parent record? From this parent record, I can easily get the corresponding details. Okay. So if you see here, right, in our contact object also, if I go for contact object, right, this contact record, we are having an account name. We are having an account name. Now, if I select this one, right, then I can easily get the corresponding details. What is the account name? And then the corresponding type, phone number, so industry. So few details we are able to get here. If I'm clicking on this one, right, then automatically it will navigate to the corresponding parent account, the corresponding parent record. So how we can create these relationship field? How we can create these relationship field? If I'm like trying to create an fields, right, we are having a checkbox, currency, date, date time, email, all these fields are available here. So now I would like to create a relationship field. I would like to create a relationship field. So now we have created a student, and I have a school object is there. I would like to create a relationship between a school and then student. School and then student. So then how can we create it? In Salesforce, we are having two types of relationship fields available. One is lookup relationship, and another one is master detail relationship. Generally, like in our interviews, are like when someone asking, right, so what are the relationships available in Salesforce? Okay, if someone asking like that, generally majority of the people, what they are going to say, so we are having lookup and then master detail relationship. But the thing is, in Salesforce, we are having four types of relationships. That is one-to-many, and then many-to-many, one-to-one, hierarchical relationship. What is this lookup and then master detail? Relationship? So lookup and then master detail is basically relational fields. It's basically relational fields. If you would like to create these relationships with the help of these relationship fields, we can establish a relation. Okay. So lookup relationship and the master detail relationship is basically relational fields. With the help of lookup relationship field and then master detail relationship field, we can establish a relationship between two different objects. So what type of relationship we are going to achieve based on our requirement, we can achieve. So what type of relationship in the sense? One-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-many, and then hierarchical relationship. Now if I go with these one-to-many and then one-to-one, many-to-many, these relationships we can achieve with the help of relationship fields. So what type of relationship fields available? Relationship fields, lookup, and then master detail relationship. Okay. So what is the property of, what is the difference between these lookup and then master detail? So first of all, we will go with the master detail property. Then after, we'll go with lookup property. For example, when I'm trying to create a child record, so now I'm having an this contact object is there. I'm having a contact object is there. Now I'm trying to create a new contact record here. When I'm trying to create a contact record, the parent is optional here. Without parent also, we can create records. So now account name is optional here. So whatever the like required fields, right? By default, asterisk symbol is available. And for non-mandatory fields, right? For those, we are having like a normal symbol. So there is no symbol here. For the required fields only, we are having a red mark. Red mark is there. For remaining fields, there is no red mark. Okay. So now account name is an optional here. If you go with the master detail relationship, right? When you are trying to create a child record, you need to populate a parent record. You need to populate parent record. While creating child record, parent record is mandatory. Parent record is mandatory. While creating a child record, parent record is mandatory. Without parent record, you cannot create child records here. So for example, if you go with the school and then student, school and then student. In this school and student, right? Without school, how we can create a student record? So if school is exist, then only student may be they go and then they can study in that school. If there is no school, how we can consider a student? Okay. So if you go for any of the company, if company is available, then only employees exist. So without company, so there is no employee. So these kind of relationships, we should go with master detail. For example, you may be someone asking you to create a relationship between two different objects. Okay, at the time you need to analyze. So here I need to go with the master detail or lookup. If you would like to go with the master detail, what is the basic property you need to consider? So if it is in a parent is a mandatory, then only we go with master detail. And the next property is basically, so when parent record is deleted, all the child records automatically will delete. Okay. So now here we are having an account and then contact is there. Account and contact is there. Now, if I delete this account record, if I would like to delete all my child records as well, then these kind of scenarios, I can go with master detail relationship. If parent record deleted, automatically child records will be deleted. Okay. So whatever the child records, that may be like 5, 10, 20, 30, whatever it may be. So if parent record is deleted, automatically child records will be deleted. Okay. It is in a second property. And then, so the third one is basically, you cannot reparent. So reparent in the sense, so here, right? While creating a record, we have selected one of the record as my parent. So if I go with contact, right? In this contact, we can reparent. Now, if I go with the contact record, so I don't want these account record as my parent. I would like to switch to the some different parent here. In the case of master detail relationship, you cannot reparent. Okay. So when you create a child record, whatever the parent value you have populated, same value you need to keep it. You cannot reparent. Okay.
Anna, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So even after deleting, we can retrieve the data, right?
Yeah, you can
We
retrieve
have
the
so if we retrieve the data, we cannot link both the objects now. Like
same relationship,
account and contact.
same linking, same relationship that will exist. No issue with those.
Okay.
Okay.
And
So, but the thing is, if you retrieve parent record, then only parent record will retrieve. So you need to retrieve child record separately.
okay. So
Okay.
it can be done retrieving also, right? Like if even after deleting.
Yeah, you can do it. I will explain those concepts.
Okay, and similarly, another question is in lookup. So we are not linking anything. We are just
Wait, wait, wait,
storing the data as it
wait,
is,
wait, wait.
as
Just
account and
we are discussing master detail. Once we are done, then we go with the lookup. Wait
yeah,
for
sure.
few minutes. Okay. Yeah. So reparenting is not possible in our master detail relationship. So then after the next property is basically ownership. Next property is basically ownership. Ownership in the sense, we are having in a sales team. So for example, in these account object, right? In these account object, so we just dividing. We are like just dividing a few of the companies to the so and so salesperson. Okay. So now we are having two different, like we are having a different managers, right? Each and every manager responsible for few of the people. Like in our class as well, we are having Naidu team and then Santosh team as well as the Dushan team. So your manager responsible to your people. Similar way here, right? These companies, like they are going to assign to the some salespersons. Who is a owner of these account record? He is responsible about all the deals of these account, all the deals of these account. So for each and every record, we are having one owner field. Each and every record, we are having one owner field. In the case of these master detail relationship, right? So whoever like a owner of your parent record, same user can act as a owner of your child records. Okay, whoever working as a whoever like working as a owner of your parent record, same owner can work as a like a owner of child records. There is no separate owner for child records. Okay. So for example, if some X person working as a parent of your account record, then automatically all the contact records also should have same owner. By default, that will happen. No need to assign manually. So by default, same owner will act as a owner of child records. Okay. So the fifth point is basically sharing. Fifth point is basically sharing. So whoever like accessing your parent record, same persons can access child records. If your parent record, not able to access, then automatically child records also not able to access. Okay. So generally what happened, right? In our company, we are going to hide few of the records to the few of the persons, depending upon their level, as well as depending upon their role. We cannot provide all the records visible to the all the persons. We can hide and then we can display. So if your parent record able to view, then only your child records can we see. So if your parent record hiding, right, then automatically child records also hidden for those users. Okay. So these property we called as shade. So these five properties that is applicable to the master detail. I am repeating again, while creating a child record, parent record is mandatory. The next point is if parent record is deleted, then automatically all the child records will be deleted. Then after, reparenting is not possible in our master detail relationship. When creating a child record, whatever the parent you have selected, you should keep it as it is. Remaining data, you can modify it, but parent, you cannot modify. So then after, whoever like working as a owner of your parent record, same owner. So same owner act as a owner to the child records as well. Then after, sharing, visibility. So whoever like accessing your parent record, those people only able to access child records. Those people able to access child records. These five properties we should know. So now, if someone asking, like, I need to create a relationship. I need to create a relationship between two different objects. At the time, we need to keep in mind. So here, I need to go with master detail or not. If you go with the master detail, these five properties you need to keep in mind. Okay. So now coming to lookup relationship. Same properties, but opposite. So while creating child record, parent is optional. Okay. So now in our contact, right? What happened? We can create contact record without account. We can create contact record without account. That means it is a lookup relationship. Okay. While creating a child record, parent record is optional. Parent record is optional. Okay. So now coming to the next option. If parent record is deleted, then child records will remain same. Okay. So it won't affect anything. Then child records remain same. Only the linking field in our child record, right? For example, if my parent record is deleted, I'm like navigating to the one of the contact and I will showcase with you. On lightning component, I'm populating one of the account here. So here what happened? For this contact, there is no account. Account is blank here. Now I'm trying to populate one of the account here, and then I'm going to delete these accounts. So simply I'm populating an account value. Then after I'm going to delete these account. So now I have populated account record here. That means under this test batch, so this contact record is there. Now I'm going to delete these account record here. So here we have an option called delete. So if you see here, right, we are having a drop down right side top corner. So we have an option called delete. I'm like simply deleting these record. So generally what happened? It's because of we are having some another exceptions. Generally what happened when we delete these record, right? Then it just deleted, and then whatever the option, whatever the value available here, right, that is going to null. That is going to null. Apart from that, there is no major change in our child record. If we delete parent record, only relationship field will be blank. Only relationship field will be blank. And there is no other change in our child record. In the case of master detail, what happened? If you delete parent record, then entire child records will be deleted automatically. But in the case of lookup relationship, if you delete parent record, only child record relationship field will be null, remaining thing as it is. So there is no other change in our child records. Okay. So then after reparenting, you can reparent it from one parent record to the another parent record. Just now we did like as of now test batch. If you would like to reparent, you can simply click on edit and then you can modify. Okay. So now I am like sorry. Yeah. Now I'm like a child of a test batch. If I would like to reparent, simply click on edit and then I can remove this value. And then if I go with some United Oil, gas Singapore. So whatever the parent you want, you can simply change it here. Reparenting is possible in our lookup relationship. So then after ownership. So here parent having separate owner and then child also having separate owner. Okay. So previous scenario, what happened? So when parent is having one owner, same owner can act as an owner of child records as well. But in the case of lookup relationship, parent having separate owner and then child also having separate owner. So then after sharing, so sharing here is different. Like parent having separate sharing rules and the child having separate sharing rules. So maybe if parent is not visible, then you can see child records. No issues with these. Okay. So, but in the case of like master detail, if parent record is visible, then only child records will be visible to the people. Visible to the people. So now consider to the these properties. When you are like trying to establish a relationship between, when you try to establish relationship between two different two different objects we need to keep in mind. We need to keep in mind. I need to go with the lookup relationship field or master detail relationship field. Okay. So these properties you need to consider. Based on that, you can go with appropriate relationship field. So now I would like to go with these uh, relationships, one to many, and then so many to many. So how we go with these options? So one to many, one to many. So now if I would like to go with one to many, so can we achieve with the lookup relationship or master data relationship or both? Or both. So one to many in the sense one parent record can contain multiple child records. Like if I go with the account and contact, under one company, we are having multiple employees. Under one school, we are having multiple students. Okay. So here one to many relationship in the sense one parent record can contain multiple child records. So if I would like to achieve these one to many relationship, can I get a lookup relationship or master relationship? So which option we can consider? So can we achieve with the master relationship or lookup relationship or both? Anyone having any idea?
We can use both.
Sure.
As far as I know.
Can you please repeat the
Master
question?
detail.
So if I would like to achieve one to many relationship, in this scenario, can I use a master data relationship or lookup relationship or both?
Both.
Master detail relationship. Master detail.
Okay. So we can go with only master detail or only lookup or both.
Both.
So here, one to many in the sense, there is no constraints here. There is no restrictions here. So we can go with both lookup and then master detail. Lookup relationship as well as master detail. So with these, if you would like to go with the one to many relationship, with these two relationship fields, we can achieve these requirements. So here, one parent and then multiple childs. One parent and then multiple childs. In this scenario, right? In this scenario, right, it may be having a master detail property or lookup property. We are not specifying the properties here. So whether we can achieve parent and then child, parent and then child. In the case of parent and then child, right, then by default, we can go with lookup and then master detail. Master detail. So with the help of these two fields, we can achieve one to many relationship. The next one is a one to one. One to one. So one to by default, if you create a lookup relationship field or master detail relationship field, by default, it is one to many. If you create lookup relationship field or master detail relationship field in your object, by default, it is one to many. By default, it is one to many. But the thing is, if you would like to achieve one to one, by default, it is not possible. With the help of custom implementation, we can achieve these requirements. Okay, so one to one in the sense, one parent record can contain only one child record. One parent record can contain only one child record. For example, now I have created one account record. Under these account record, I have two or three contacts. Maybe like at this moment, I'm having only one contact. I'm having only one contact. So now here we have like three contacts. But the thing is, we need to create only one contact under this account. We need to create only one contact under this account. So if you have such kind of relationships, then we go with one to one. But the thing is, by default, it is not possible. We should go with some custom implementation. Whenever you are trying to create a child record, already your parent having one of the child record, then you should throw in a error message. Your parent already having one child record, so you cannot create one more child record. So how we can achieve? With the help of validation rule, validation rule, we can achieve this requirement. So here we can create a here we can create these relationship with the help of either lookup or master detail or both. So by default, it is not possible. But the thing is, these relationship we can achieve with the help of validation rule. We can throw an error if you're like trying to if you're trying to create a more than one child record, more than one child record. But the thing is, my question here is, so these kind of relationship, how we can achieve with the help of lookup relationship field or master data relationship field or both. If I would like to go with 1 to 1 to 1, so here, can I get it with the help of lookup relationship or master data relationship or both?
No one we can achieve.
Using master detail relationship.
Using master data relationship. So here, what I'm asking, if I would like to establish one-to-one relationship, okay. So here, what we can do, what we can use, I need to go with the lookup relationship field, or I need to go with the master data relationship field, or I can use both.
Not lookup, not master data. Either we can't go.
So here, I'm like repeating again. If I'm using lookup relationship field or master data relationship field, by default it is one-to-many. If I have created lookup relationship field or master data relationship field, by default it is one-to-many. Okay. The thing is, if you would like to establish one-to-one, then you need to use validation rule. With the help of validation rule, you can achieve one-to-one relation. Okay. Now, my question is, what are the relationship fields can I use to get one-to-one relationship?
Master detail. Since parent record is mandatory in order to create a child record.
Did I say anything? It's a mandatory or not? Now, just I would like to establish a relationship. So here what happened? We need to establish a relationship one-to-one. That's it. So there is no constraints here. What I'm saying, so only constraint is one parent can have one child record. Okay. So, but I'm not saying anything about if a child record, while creating child record, parent is mandatory or not. Okay. My requirement is basically one parent record can contain only one child record. So no other rules here. No other rules here. We should go with parent as well as child. One parent can contain one child only. There is no other rules here. So while creating child record, parent is maybe optional, may not be optional. Okay. So that may be mandatory, may not be mandatory. So then after while creating a child record, so the properties, remaining properties that you can achieve, the are may not achieve. So I'm not saying anything about the properties. So my basic requirement is if I would like to go with one-to-one relationship, okay, how we can achieve it with the lookup relationship field or master relationship field.
Since we're using a validation rule, I think we can use both, either lookup or master.
Yes. So here we are just establishing a relationship. Okay. We are not like providing any constraints here. Apart from this validation rule is separate thing. So we can go with lookup and then master detail. Okay. So then after many to many relationship. So these many to many relationship also, what happened, right? So generally, like as I mentioned, when we are using master detail or lookup, by default it is one to many. By default it is one to many. So if I would like to establish a many to many in the sense, so here one parent record may contain multiple child records. Similar way, one child record may contain multiple parent records. So these kind of relationships by default not possible, but we can achieve. So in this scenario, right? So what are the fields we can use it? Lookup or master detail or both? Here, what we can use? We can go with lookup or master detail or both.
Both.
I would like to establish many-to-many relationship. So in this scenario, the requirement is one parent can contain multiple child records. Similar way, one child record can contain multiple parent records.
Lookup.
Mm-hmm.
Both is fine.
So Naidu team, you are not responding.
With the validation rule.
So here, these we can achieve with the lookup as well as master detail. These we can achieve with the help of lookup and then master detail. So simple funda here. I'm having one of the projects as well as a resource. Now I'm like simply go with the project 1 and then project 2, then after project 3, then after project 4. Similar way, we are having like resources in sense employees. So here we are having a resource 1, resource 2, resource 3, and then resource 4. So now my requirement is basically the first one is a project. Second one is a resource. Okay. So my requirement is basically I need to establish a relationship between these two objects. So one resource can work for multiple projects. Maybe resource one, he may be like work for multiple projects. Project 1 as well as project 2. Okay, he can work for both the projects. So similar way, like these project, like project 1, maybe like it's completed by multiple people. So resource 1 working in project 1 as well as in project 2. So similar way in this project, right? So project 1 like can complete by resource 1 and then resource 2 as well as resource 3 as well. Resource 3 also. So these project can complete by multiple people. So nowadays what happened, right? We are working for multiple companies. Same person can work for multiple companies. So here what happened? These project one completed by these 3 people. But these resource 1 can contribute their time for both project 1 as well as project 2. Similar way, these resource 2 can contribute to the project 3 as well as so these resource 4 only contribute to the project 4. And then so these resource 3 also contribute to the project 4. So here what happened? one project can complete by multiple people. Similar way, one resource can contribute to the multiple projects. Multiple projects. So now the thing is, I need to establish a relationship. The relationship is one to many. One to many. By default, Salesforce not providing many to many relationship. So here I need to establish a many to many relationship. By default, Salesforce is not providing many to many relationship. Then how we can achieve these requirement? Then how we can achieve these requirement? So in this scenario, right, Salesforce introduced one more called junction object, one more feature called junction object. In these many to many relationship, we need to use junction object. What is this junction object? So this junction object is basically like a providing relationship between two different objects. Two different objects. In the case of a project, what are the fields we may create? We may create multiple fields in this project, like a project name, and then a project budget, project deadline. Then after what are the components using in this project? So then after project status, whether it is in a green or like red or yellow. So these project may have multiple fields, and then resource also may have multiple fields. But these junction object, it is having only two relationship fields. It is having only two relationship fields. So those fields we simply called as these junction object. I'm like simply specifying resource allocation. Resource allocation. We have created one more object called resource allocation. Within these resource allocation, right, how we are going to establish a relationship? So with the help of lookup or master detail, I am going to create a relational fields. One field is basically project, and second field is a resource. We are going to create two fields only in this resource allocation. One field is either lookup or master detail to the project, or second field is basically lookup or master detail to this resource. So now how we are going to create a data here? So the data is basically, we are going to create like this: project 1, comma, resource 1, and then so the next record is basically project 1, comma, resource 2, and then project 1, and then resource 3. Like this, we simply creating records in our junction object. It's a very important topic. So in your interviews also, you will get this question: what is junction object? What is junction object? Junction object is basically, it's like a medium of two parent objects. So if you would like to achieve many to many relationship, then you can use these junction object and a intermediate object between two main objects. So here the records is basically, we are simply creating like this: project 1, resource 1, project 2, resource 2, project 1, and then resource 3, like this. So similar way, whatever the relation available, right, simply we are going to create like this. So now project 2, comma, so project 2 can handle by resource 1 only. So like this, whatever the records is there, right, simply I am going to create these records. So project 3 can handle by resource 2. Then after project 4 can handle by resource 3, resource 3, as well as project 4 can handle by resource 4. Okay, like this, we can create records in our junction object. So simply we called as a resource allocation. So here we are not creating any other fields. We can create only project as well as resource as a lookup or master detail field. So majority of the scenarios, right? Majority of the scenarios in our Salesforce environment, we are going to achieve these requirement with master detail relationship. Master detail relationship only. So majority of the scenarios, that means 90% of the scenarios we can achieve with the help of master detail relationship. Master detail relationship. So here you may get one more question. So the question is basically for an object, how many fields we can create? For an object, how many fields you can create? So by default in Salesforce, for each and every object, we can create up to 500 fields. We can create up to 500 fields. That may be relational fields or maybe like a text fields, email fields, phone number fields. With the combination of all these, we can create up to 500 fields in a single object. If you would like to store more than 500 fields, then obviously you need to create a separate object and you need to establish a relationship field. Okay. So now, generally what happened, right? In the case of earlier we are discussing, right? Account as well as contact. Account having 500 fields and then contact having 300 fields. Then with these 500 and then 300 within a single object is not possible. Then what we can do? We can go with relational field. We can go with relational fields. So that's why if you would like to create multiple fields, right, we can go with up to 500 only. You cannot create more than 500. You cannot create more than 500. So coming to these relational fields, how many lookups we can create, and then how many master detail we can create. So lookup, and then master detail. So with this combination, lookup and master detail, with this combination, we can go with up to 40 fields. We can go with up to 40 fields in a single object. In a single object, we can create a relational fields up to 40. Relational fields up to 40. So these 40 including our total field limit. Total field limit. For example, I have created 470 fields, remaining fields. Now you can go with 30 relational fields only. 30 relational fields only. So priority goes to the like normal fields. So if you create a 470 fields, then you can go to the 30 relational fields. If you create a 480 normal fields, then you should go with only 20 fields. So whatever the field you have created first, so priority goes to that one. For example, I have created 40 relation fields. 40 relational fields. Then you can create up to 460 remaining fields. 460 remaining fields. Okay. So depending upon fields you have created first, automatically remaining field quota will decrease. Remaining field quota will decrease. So if you created 40 relationship fields first, then automatically it will reduce remaining field quota. Okay. So now coming to the lookup and then master detail. So within these lookup and then master detail, right, you can go with up to 38 lookup and 2 master detail. Okay. If you go with lookup and then master detail, you can create 38 lookup and then 2 master detail relationship in each and every object. Okay. So if you would like to create beyond this one, it's not possible. You can create only 2 master detail relationship fields. 2 master detail relationship fields. So maybe if you're like reducing one, right? If you're reducing one, right? In this scenario, you can create like this as well. 39 lookup and then 1 master detail. 1 master detail. So you can increase a lookup relational count, but you cannot increase a master detail relationship field counts. Master detail maximum is 2. You cannot create more than 2 master detail relationship. Okay. So if you maybe like created a 40 lookup also not possible. Okay. But the thing is, if you are creating a 40 lookup relationships, then zero master detail, zero master detail. Okay. So the relation fields, total relationship fields will be 40. So within this 40, 38 lookup and then two master detail you can create, 39 lookup and then one master detail you can create, 40 lookups, zero master detail you can create. But the thing is, your master detail quantity is basically two only. You cannot create more than two master detail relationships. Okay. Is it clear? Are anyone having any questions about these limits?
Clear.
Okay. So now the thing is, as I mentioned, in junction object, majority of the places we are going to use a master detail relationship. Master detail relationship. So you can consider if any of the object having two master detail relationship, then by default you can consider it is a junction object. Maybe if you see, right, if you go to the any of the object fields, any of the object fields. Now I'm like simply navigating to the some another object. So we are having resource allocation or not. So student, I'm navigating to the previous student object. So here within the student object, we are having fields, address, city, company, contact, and all those things. If you see here, right, these contact having lookup to the, so student to the contact lookup. So here student to the like a account lookup. So here created by who created this record? Student to the lookup to the user object. So similar way, we are having a master detail. So master detail is basically school is a parent and then student is a child. Master detail to the school. So if you observe, right, if any of the object contain more than one master detail, then simply you can consider that object as a junction object. More than one master detail relationship, then you can simply consider that object as a junction object. Okay. So if you open any of the object and you can navigate to the fields and relationship, just trying to identify. So if it is in a more than one master relationship, then simply you can consider that object as a junction object. Okay. So now coming to like our concept, these junction object can achieve with the help of master detail as well as the lookup. But majority of the places we can use only master detail relationship for the junction object. So junction object is basically we can use only for the many to many relationship. If you would like to achieve many to many relationship, by default Salesforce is not providing. So because of that, we can use junction object. With the help of junction object, we can achieve many to many relationship. Okay. So how we can create a how we can create junction object in the sense, if you like any of the object having more than one master detail relationship, then we can consider that object as a junction object. Okay. So here you may be having one question. In this junction object, one parent is lookup and then one parent is master detail. Okay. So what I'm saying here, we are in this resource allocation, I have created one of the project is lookup and then resource is the master detail. Then it's not a junction object. Then it is not a junction object. If both project and then resource both are master detail, then only we can consider it is a junction object. In the case of if you would like to achieve with the help of lookup, both should be lookup. Okay. If you create a project field as a lookup and the resource field as a master detail, it's not a junction object. If you create both project and then resource as a master detail, then only we can consider as a junction object. Okay. Is it clear? Are anyone having any questions so far? Okay. Now, my final thing is hierarchy relationship. So if I would like to go with hierarchy relationship, hierarchy in the sense self lookup, hierarchy in the sense self lookup. If I would like to achieve hierarchy relationship, hierarchy relationship. So what type of relationship field can I use it here? Just guess it.
Look up.
Like 1 to 1 after the 1 to 1.
I would like to go with hierarchy relationship. So if I would like to achieve hierarchy relationship, so here I need to go with the lookup relationship field or master detail relationship field.
Self-lookup with a lookup relation.
So lookup relation. Master.
Lookup relationship.
Only lookup or master detail also. For remaining relationships, right, we can achieve lookup master detail, lookup master detail, lookup master detail. So in this hierarchy, for this hierarchy, what we can use it here?
Only lookup.
Only lookup. So what happened, right? So yesterday already we discussed about hierarchy. So hierarchy in the sense we are having a user object. So just consider user object. So in these user, right, we are having in a like records like this. So maybe like some Srikanth, and then we are having details like this. Srikanth and email ID @gmail.com. Then after phone number 123, and then so some manager field is there. So manager is some XYZ person. Okay. So and I am having another data like maybe like Anil, and then Anil @gmail.com, and then phone number is 345, and his manager also XYZ. So now coming to like another record. So if you would like to populate XYZ as your manager, XYZ also should be record of should be like a record of user object. So now XYZ, and then XYZ @gmail.com. So phone number is 456, and his manager may be like empty here. His manager may be like empty here. So now I need to like populate these XYZ as a manager of first user, and then second user. First user and then second user. If I would like to populate like this, so here what I need to use, either lookup relationship or master relationship.
Lookup relationship only when
Yeah, lookup.
Why? Why can't we achieve with the master detail?
Because if, for example, if XYZ is the manager of Srikanth and Anil, so if the manager, suppose he leaves the company, then Srikanth and Anil both have to leave the company. So if in case of master detail, if the master is deleted, then the records, child records also must be deleted. So that should not be the case, right? So hence lookup.
Yeah. So here what happened, right? Whenever you are trying to, if you're using in a master detail relationship, if you're using in a master detail relationship, what is our first property? So first property is basically when creating a child record, parent record is mandatory. When creating a child record, parent record is mandatory. So now, if you would like to populate XYZ as your manager, first of all, XYZ record should be created in your user object. Should be created in your user object. The thing is, if I'm trying to create an XYZ record, if I'm using master detail, then I should populate manager field. Okay. But the thing is, without any record, you cannot populate manager record, manager field value here. So if you're using a master detail, then whenever you're trying to create any of the record, you need to populate manager field. So if you're trying to create a first record, at that time also, you need to populate manager field. Okay. So if it is in a manager field is a mandatory, then you cannot create any record in our user object. So that's why you should go with only lookup relationship. So when you are trying to create these record, manager field is an optional. So you can keep this is an empty. So then after for remaining users, you can populate these XYZ as a manager. If I'm using a master detail, then you should not keep this value as an empty. You need to populate something. So in the case of first record, there is no parent record, then obviously you cannot create any record. That's why in the case of hierarchy relationship, we can go with only lookup. We can go with only lookup relationship field. Okay. So in the case of hierarchy relationship, we should go with only lookup relationship field. You cannot go with any other fields here. So in the case of one to many and then one to one, many to many, we go with these two fields. In the case of hierarchy, we should go with only lookup. Okay. So in our interviews also, they will ask a question. So hierarchy relationship, can we achieve with lookup or master detail? So simply we can say we can achieve with only lookup relationship. Why? Because you cannot create, if you're using a master detail, you cannot create any record. So that's why we should go with only lookup relationship. Okay. Is it clear? Are anyone having any questions? So far, any questions? Okay. So now we know about like lookup and then master detail. Then after the related limitations, and then how we can achieve with one to many, and then one to one, many to many, then hierarchy. So these things just note it down. It's like a mandatory. Why? Because many of the interviews, they are going to ask you about this one, like what are the relationships. If they're asking relationships, then you need to specify one to many. Relationship is different and the relationship field is different. Relationship field in the sense lookup and then master detail. Relation in the sense one to many, one to one, hierarchy, many to many relationship. Okay. If someone asking like what are the relationships available in Salesforce, then we should say about one to many to many, one to one, hierarchy. So if they may be like asking how we can achieve these relationships, then what we need to say, with the help of lookup relationship, master detail relationship fields, we can achieve these relationships. Okay. Clear? Any questions? Okay, then just go for break, 10 minutes. So previous what we are saying, so we can achieve these relationships with the help of lookup relationship field as well as a master detail relationship field. So now how to create these lookup relationship field as well as a master detail relationship field in our objects. Now coming to our objects. So earlier we are having an student object is there, right? Now I would like to create a relationship between school and then student. School and then student. Simply I'm like navigating to our student object. Our student object. Yesterday we have created our object name as student 33. So that's why I'm navigating to the student 33 object. Now I would like to establish a relationship between student as well as school. So if I would like to establish a relationship between a student and then school, so what kind of relationship field can we use it here? In the case of school and then student, what kind of relationship field can we use it here? Lookup or master detail. My requirement is I need to create a relationship between student and then school. In this scenario, what kind of relationship field can I use it?
Master detail.
Master detail.
Why we need to go with master detail?
Because without the school, there are no students. So we can take school as a parent and students as a child records.
Yes, that is correct. So now my question is how we can establish a relationship. Okay, so we are having a student object is there as well as a school object is there. So now I need to create a relationship. So simply I'm having like one of the object. Okay, like we are having a school and as well as another object student. Both the objects is there. Now I need to create a relationship between these two objects. So if I would like to create relationship field, just now we finalize, we need to go with the master relationship. Why? Because without school, we cannot create any of the student records. So that's why we should go with master relationship. So now we can create fields. If you would like to create the field, our navigation is simply click on setup, object manager, and then fields and relationships. Whatever the object do you want to create field, you can simply open the corresponding object name. Then after fields and relationships, with these fields and relationships, I need to click on new. When we click on new, then automatically we can select what type of field you want to create. You can select and then you can create it. Okay. My requirement here is I need to establish a relationship field. So we finalized, we need to go with the master relationship field. Now, my next question is where we can create these relationship field. So I need to create in a school or I need to create in a student object.
In school,
Student.
Mhm. Where I can create it. This
it
school
should be in the school. It's a
Mhm.
parent object.
Mhm.
In students,
Should be done
because in students,
because we should consider the child object rather than the parent.
Okay, here we need to create master detail field in school object or in a student object.
Student.
student object.
Okay, so if you would like to establish a relationship, between two different objects, then what you can do, always you can create relational field in child object. So if you go with our contact, right? If you go with our contact, we are populating account field value in our contact object. We are not populating any contact information on our account record. We are not populating any contact information on our account object. But while creating our child record, we need to specify what is our parent record. So that's why whenever you are trying to create any of the relation field, that may be lookup or master detail, always you need to create a relational field in child object. So now in this scenario, we are trying to establish a relationship between school and then student. So I'm going to create a relationship between school and the student. So that's why school is a parent and student is a child. So simply navigating to the student object, and then within the student object, I'm navigating to the fields and relationships. Then after, I'm trying to establish a relation. So simply click on new. Then after, we have decided to go with master detail. So that's why I'm choosing a master detail relationship. So here we need to select what is our parent object. So once you select master detail and you click on next, then in next step, what you need to do, you need to choose parent object. Our parent object is basically school. So that's why whatever the parent object name, we need to specify here. So if you select these drop down, right, then automatically whatever the custom objects as well as standard objects available in our Salesforce account by default displaying here. Okay, school already I have created. That's why that is available in my account. So I have selected this school. Okay, so once I have selected, then after simply click on next. Simply click on next. So now whatever the field label do you want to provide, you can specify the field label. So I am going to specify school. Okay, so then after click on next. So here by default, no need to select anything. I'm like simply creating the corresponding field value, and then I'm going to save the record, save the field. The thing is, when I am trying to create a master detail relationship, we are having one issue. So now what happened, right? Cannot create master detail relationship. Cannot create master detail relationship. So why we got this error in the sense, we are already having student object. Within the student object, already we have created yesterday few records. If I go with the student object, right, already we are having few records. But as per master detail property, so if you have any of the child record should have parent record. Child record should be populated with parent record. So now we are trying to create a master detail relationship, but already we have created records in our student object. So that's why Salesforce not allowing us to create a master detail relationship if that object already having any of the record. Even if it is having single record, Salesforce not allowing us to create a master detail relationship. Okay, so yesterday we have created these two records. That's why we got error. So now what we can do, so we can simply delete those two records, and then we can establish a master detail relationship. So we have two records. It's simple step. We can delete, and then we can create a master detail relationship. So please keep in mind. So these questions also you will get in your interviews. Okay. So this question also you will get in interviews. So how can you create a master relationship if that object already having records? So in this scenario, right, what you can do, first of all, generally what we can say, we can delete existing records, and then we can create master relationship. So if it is having two records, then we can easily delete it, and then we can restore it, no issue. But the thing is, in real-time environment, right? In real-time environment, our object may contain lakhs of records. So in this scenario, right, maybe someone asking us to create a master data relationship, that object having already 1 lakh records. In these kind of scenario, right, what we can do, we can simply create a lookup relationship first. So now what I can do, I am going to create a lookup relationship field. So parent to the school object. And then click on next. I'm going to populate the name, field name, label name. Again, click on next. So here we can select a visible. We'll discuss these options later. And then student 23. So select, keep it as it is. So here also you can keep it as it is, and then simply click on save. So now we have created lookup relationship field. So if you see here, right, we are able to see school lookup to the our student object. Now we can go with our student record. So now what we can do, we can populate one of the school as dummy. Okay, you can consider our school as dummy, and then you can populate the corresponding value in all 1 lakh records. Maybe you can consider like one of the school record as a dummy record, and you can populate in all 1 lakh records. We are having some backend process. With the help of backend process, we can populate the dummy record in all 1 lakh records at a time. But as of now, what you can do, if any of the object having records and still you need to create a master relationship, then what you can do, first you need to create a lookup relationship. Then after, you can populate one dummy value in our lookup fields. So now in this school, right, what I can do, I'm going to populate one of the value. So I'm going to populate one of the school value. So school record, just to mention. Test. Now I'm populating test value in our school record. So here I'm going to populate this test and then simply save this record. Similar way, I'm going to populate in second record as well. So whatever the school field is there, right? Simply I'm populating corresponding value. So now what happened? So whatever the records we are having, we have populated with school data. So our requirement is we need to create a master relationship. But as of now, what we did, we have created a lookup relationship and then we have populated values in all the records. So our next step is we need to convert a lookup relationship to the master data relationship. So generally, Salesforce never allow us to create a master data relationship if it is already having records. So for that purpose, we are having a workaround. This workaround is basically we can create lookup relationship and then we can populate all the values in the records. Then after convert these field to the master detail. If you would like to convert, again navigate to your object and then fields and relationships. So go to the appropriate field like a lookup to the school. So right side, we are having an option called edit. Just simply click on this edit option. Okay, simply click on edit option. So then after we are having change field type. We are having an option called change field type. So I'm selecting this option. And then I'm like simply selecting master detail relationship. I'm simply selecting master detail relationship and then click on next. And then finally, I'm saving this field. So now what happened? So we have created master detail relationship in our student object to the school as a parent. Okay. So by default, it is not possible. Why? Because we already having some records created in our student object. That's why what we did, we have created lookup relationship and then we have populated all the values. Then after converted lookup to the master detail. So like this, we can create master data relationship if any of the object having existing records. Okay. So creating of lookup and then master detail, it won't take like much time. Similar way how you create a fields, similar way we can do it. The only thing is, if you would like to create a master relationship, if an existing records object, then you need to follow this procedure. Directly, it is not possible. You should go with conversion. Clear? Or anyone having any questions? If we're clear, we can move to the next topic.
Yeah, clear.
Any question from anyone about relationships?
Anna, in this case, we have very few objects or records, right? So we could manually change if it is a lookup relationship, we could change it to master detail. When there is huge data, can we do that instead of manually doing that? Can we do we have any other option to do that?
Yeah, we have in multiple approaches. Backend we can do it, but just as of now, we are like doing baby steps, right? That's why I'm explaining in manual changes. Okay.
Okay.
If you have lakh records and you need to modify 1 lakh records, all the 1 lakh records, it may take like around 1 week or 2 weeks of time.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can go that. So within 5 minutes or 10 minutes, you can modify all 1 lakh records.
Perfect.
Okay. Any other questions from anyone?
Can you just once again explain this conversion process?
Sure. So these conversion basically, initially what you can do, if the records is already existing in your object, so then you need to create a lookup relationship. So once a lookup relationship field is created, then after what you need to do, you need to populate a parent value in your child records, all the child records that may be having 100 or 200 or like 300 or 1 lakh, whatever it is. You need to populate these parent value, lookup field value with one of the parent record. So once you are done with these record population, record updation, then after what you can do, you can navigate to the corresponding field and then click on edit. So once you are done with the edit, then we are having an option called change field type. So here you will get a change field type option. Select this one and then select master detail relationship. Then click on next and then simply click on save. Then automatically master relationship will be created. Okay.
So we have to change this field type in like in the parent object or in a child object?
Where you created a relationship field in parent object or child object,
Child object.
then you need to convert in child object only. We are converting a relational field. Okay. So here simply we are going to convert relation field.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Any other question from anyone? Okay, then I'm moving to the next topic. Salesforce security model. First class we discussed about the Salesforce security model, and then again we are like landing to this topic. Okay, so what is the Salesforce security model, and then what type of options available? So those are we are going to discuss it. It may take like some time. So today we can cover some part, and then tomorrow we can cover remaining part. It's like very important. Everything is in Salesforce, everything is dependent on the Salesforce security model. So that's why it's a very important topic. So now coming to Salesforce security model, in the sense, whenever user trying to log in, from login onwards, whatever the activities he can perform and whatever he cannot do, we can control with the help of Salesforce security model. For example, if you go to the Amazon website, so if you log in as a customer, then what you can do, you can simply select whatever the products you want, and then you can place an order. So whatever the products do you want to purchase, you can simply select all the products and then you can add to the cart, and finally you can place an order. But in the case of if retailer login in Amazon account, what he can do, how many products he is having, so everything he can update. For example, I am a retailer to the Amazon, so then what I can do, I can sell phones as well as I can sell air conditioners. Then what I'm going to do, once I'm able to log into the Amazon, I can update. So I have 15 phones, I have 20 air conditioners. So these details I am going to update in my Amazon account. Okay. So similar way, if maybe like internal employee, if they log in, right? what they can do, they are going to place in a discounts. They are going to place in a discounts, and they are going to update the rated offers, and then so any bank related changes, everything they are going to modify. Same application, same site. If 3 different people log in, they are able to see 3 different views. Okay, if internal employee login, Amazon internal employee login, what they can do, they can give discounts, they can give offers, they can change bank details. That means whatever the bank's allowing, credit card details, all those things they can modify. If retailer login, then what he can do, whatever the products he is selling, the related quantity he can update. If customer login, what he can do, he can just access the products, he can just place an order. Other than that, he cannot do anything. So here, 3 different persons accessing same application, but their activities and their actions are totally different. So how we can control these activities? How we can manage these actions? So with the help of these security model in Salesforce. So Amazon having different security model, so they can limit the actions. But in Salesforce, right, with the help of the Salesforce security model, we can achieve these requirement. If someone log in and he should have only read access, so now what happened? I'm able to log in, and then I can create fields, and then I can create records. But few of the people, right, we are not allowing them to create records. Few of the people, we are not allowing them to modify the records. They can create, but they cannot modify. Few of them, we can give both read and edit access. They can view and then they can modify, but they cannot delete. They cannot delete. So these kind of permissions, if you would like to give to the user, so with the help of the Salesforce security model, we can achieve. Okay. So why we need the Salesforce security model in sense? Once user log in, what they can do, what they cannot do. Okay. When they can log in, when they need to log out, all these things we can control with the help of Salesforce security model. In previous class, we discussed it, right? Maybe some people trying to log in their home. So we are doing work from home, and then we are trying to access our application from our home. But our banking company or like some of the financial companies, they not allow us to log in outside of your office network. Outside of your office network at that time. So what type of restrictions can we provide? So maybe like some of the transactions, they are allowing us to perform only certain time frame. So morning 9 a.m. to the evening 5 p.m. or like morning 9 a.m. to the up to 3 p.m. So if you're trying to perform the transaction outside of these time frame, so you should not allow to perform the corresponding transaction. So these all rules we can achieve with the help of Salesforce security model. Okay. So now, first of all, we go with the Salesforce security model. In this Salesforce security model, organization access security. What is this organization access security? Organization access security in the sense, so it is established to the organization level. So whoever like employee of our organization, everyone should follow these rules. It's a common for everyone. It's a common for everyone. Okay. So for example, if you're working in some Infosys company, then what happened? So whatever the rules apply, whatever the like their motive, so they have specified that is applicable to the each and every employee, irrespective of their department and irrespective of their role and whatever it may be, it's a common for everyone. Nowadays, everyone facing one issue, right? Infosys employees joining in Cognizant. They are having some strict thumb rule, so they cannot join in competitor companies. They cannot join in any of the Infosys employee. They cannot join in competitor company. So that is applicable to all the employees, irrespective of their role. If they join as a junior, a fresher, or maybe like a mid-range or like high level, whatever it is, it's a common for everyone. Okay, it's a thumb rule for everyone. Those kind of rules we called as organization access security. Okay, it is applicable to the each and every user within our application. So now IP ranges. So if you define these IP ranges, right, in company level, then automatically what happened? It is applicable to the entire users. So where we can give these IP ranges, if I would like to configure, maybe if I'm joining one of the company, so my manager asked me to define IP range, company level. Then where I can go and then I need to define. So simple thing. So log in your Salesforce account, and then so generally if you log in, right, by default you will get a screen like this, home. So then after, click on setup. If you click on setup, then automatically you will get in a window like this. If you click on a setup, then automatically you will get in a window like this. So here you can specify IP. You can simply enter IP. So we are having a network access. So within this network access, you need to give starting IP address and then ending IP address. So now I'm simply click on new. So here you need to give starting IP address and ending IP address. Each and every network having their own IP address where it is having some range. Okay. So you can, if you are not aware, you can ask like whoever like giving an instruction to you, you can ask them what is IP address I need to configure. Then you can get the details. Simply you can specify corresponding IP address here. So generally what happened, right? 192.168.1.1 or like 0.1, some like IP address it is going to vary. So you can specify starting as well as ending. Okay, just try it from your end, but after you try, right, delete in your account. Why? Because if you log in here, right, maybe if you move another place and you are trying to log in, if you give these IP range and again you are trying to log in outside of your network, right, you won't able to log in. So that's why if you would like to try, just create and then after delete it. Now I'm like trying to give 192.168.1.1. I'm like simply creating an IP address here. Once you have created, then after simply delete it. Why? Because it's your developer account, right? You may be like logging in your as of now in your home or like somewhere. If you move out, right, at the time you are not allowed us to log in. So that's why. So just test it. After that, delete these IP range. Okay. So this is the way we can achieve company level network access. So IP range we can give in profile level. So these we can cover when we are going to discuss about profile. At the time we can cover these IP range. So then after login hours. So these login hour also we can cover under this profile. In profile we can define these two things. So IP range and then login hours we can define in profile level. So these we are going to discuss in profile. Okay. But organization access security, if you would like to give company level, then what you need to do, navigation is a simple thing. Click on setup, home, and then in quick find, enter network access. Then after you can simply provide new, and then you can simply click on new, and then whatever the IP address do you want to specify, you can specify over there. Okay. So now our next topic is object level security. So these we can achieve with the help of profile and then permission set. Before going to this concept, what is profile? Profile is basically a set of rules and regulations. Users should enforce if they log in Salesforce. It's a completely set of rules and regulations. So we simply called as protocol. Okay. So some people called as a protocol. Profile is basically set of rules and regulations, what they can do and what they cannot do in Salesforce. So these profiles, we can create multiple in Salesforce. So as I mentioned, right, in Infosys, we are having company level restrictions as well as a individual department level. Okay, individual department level. Infosys company having different departments, each and every department having their own rules and regulations. So now what we can do, right? For each and every department, they can create one profile. And within this profile, they can configure whatever the rules they need to perform. Again, I'm repeating, Profile is completely, it's a set of rules and regulations what they need to follow. Okay. So now within the company, we have multiple departments, each and every department having their own rules and regulations. That's why what we can do, they are going to create multiple set of rules and regulations. So now my first requirement is account team. That means account team, they should have access to the account object as well as a contact object. And then admin team, they should have access to the user object as well as a student object and then a school object. Okay. So we are having one more team like a finance. So for this finance also, they should have a user object as well as a student object. Okay. So the next thing is a security team. So they should have access to the user object. So here what happened? Each and every team having their own set of rules. So here account team having only account and contact access. Admin team should have only user, student and then school access. So finance team should have only user and then student access. And the security team should have only user object access. They cannot like access other data. So here account team, remaining other teams, they should not have access to the account object. Similar way, security team, they should have access only to the user object. They should not have access to any other object. Okay. If you would like to create these kind of rules, these we can achieve with the help of profile. So now what we need to do for account team, we can create one profile, account team profile. We can create account team profile. And then for admin team, we can create admin team profile. So then after in our finance team also, it is having a finance team profile. So, and then security team, we are going to create a security team profile. So now if new employee joined in finance team, then what we can do? We can simply assign finance team profile to the new employee. Similar way, if any of the employee joined in security team, then what we can do? We can simply assign security team profile to the new employee. Okay. So like this, so whoever having these profile, they should follow only these rules. They should able to access only these objects. Okay. So these we can achieve with the help of profile. So now how we can create these profile? How can we create this profile? And what is standard here in these profile also? Two types: standard profiles as well as custom profiles. Standard in the sense by default Salesforce providing profiles we called as standard profiles. And custom profile, so whatever the profile we have created by us, so those profiles we called as custom profiles. Okay, always remember, so whatever Salesforce by default provided, those we called as standard, and what we have created, even small thing, that is custom. Okay, if you simply click on new and then you create something, that is custom. Now the thing is, I would like to go with the profile. So what you can do, click on setup, and then you will get a home screen like this. Within the home screen, in quick file, enter profile. So if you are able to enter profile, right, we are having an option called profile here, profiles here. So by default, Salesforce provide few of the profiles as a standard profile. And if you would like to create your own profile, then you can create with the help of new profile option. If you see here, right, we are having a custom checkbox. So here what happened? The related security user, enhanced authenticated website. So all these are standard profiles. That's why the checkbox not enabled. So if the checkbox enabled, in the sense it is a custom profile. So if checkbox not enabled, that means it's a standard profile. So By default, Salesforce providing these many profiles. One moment. Okay, so here we can see all the profiles. So in my account, 48 profiles are available. So in these 48 profiles, so we are having few are custom profile and few are like a standard profiles. So by default, Salesforce will provide system administrator. System administrator is the top profile. It is having all the access. It is having all the access. So remaining profiles, it may be like a less access. Okay. So depending upon our requirement, we are going to create different types of profiles. So by default, system administrator Salesforce will provide. So system administrator profile having complete access. Complete access. They can do anything in this Salesforce account. Whoever like having the system administrator, so they can do anything within this Salesforce. Now I am trying to create a new profile here. I'm trying to create new profile here. So what is this new profile? Simply I'm selecting a new profile, and then so you need to clone properties from the any one of the profile. I am going to clone from the system administrator, and then I'm giving profile name as batch 33, and then simply click on save. So now one profile got created. Now one profile got created. So it is a custom profile, right? Now you can modify whatever you want. Okay. So now you can modify whatever you want. So here, what type of rules we are having here in the profile, right? We are having multiple rules. We'll go with one by one. We'll go with one by one. Profile. So in profile, right, we are having multiple rules. Sorry. Today we can cover these two topics. Then tomorrow we can go with the remaining options. So as I mentioned, right, IP range as well as login hours, IP range as well as login hours. So if you would like to configure IP range as well as login hours, so then what you can do? So open your profile and then navigate to the bottom. Navigate to the bottom. So these all are like rules. So here, right, we are having login hours as well as login IP ranges. If you open any one of the profile, right, in bottom section, we are having login IP ranges as well as login hours. If I would like to give restrictions, then what I can do, I can simply click on new login IP ranges, and then whatever the IP range we are having, we can simply enter here 1.1. So the end IP address like this, and then click on save. I'm simply clicking on save. So now what happened? I have created one of the IP range for this profile. So what happened? Whenever any of the user having this profile, they try to log in, they should log in only within this IP range. Within this IP range. Similar way, we are having login hour restrictions. Login hour restrictions. If you would like to achieve these login hour restrictions, right? Then you can simply click on edit. Then after it will navigate to the screen like this. So Sunday, what is the start time? And then what is the end time? So then after like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, like this, whatever the start time. So morning, so 9 a.m. and then evening 3 p.m. So similar way, we can configure individual week wise. I'm like updating like this, 9 a.m. and then 3 p.m. Thursday also 9 a.m. 3 p.m. Friday 9 a.m. 3 p.m. and then simply saving this one. So then automatically what happened? So whenever user trying to log in before this time, then Salesforce never allow us to log in before these business hours. before these business hours. For example, my time is basically, I'm like trying to log in before 9 a.m. on Monday. So then what happened? Automatically, it will throw in an error. It will throw an error. Similar way, I'm trying to log in after 3 p.m. After 3 p.m. At that time also, we will get an error. Okay. If you define business hours, then what happened, right? So you should not log in after or before these times. So now I'm trying to log in before start time. It is not allowing us to log in. As well as if you're trying to log in after the end time, it won't allow us to log in. So even if you're using a proper username and then password, you are like trying to log in, it will restrict. You should log in only within this time frame only. Okay. So now the thing is, for example, I'm like opening my Salesforce account and then I'm like trying to keep on performing some activities. So my logout time is basically 3 p.m. My logout time is basically 3 p.m. But the thing is, I have login at 2 p.m. and then I'm trying to create an objects and I'm trying to create records and all those things. So I'm like keep on creating the data. So at the time, right, after it reaches to the 3 p.m., if you're like performing any of the activity, it won't do anything. Okay. It can continue until you are sign out. But once if you sign out, right, then after 3 p.m., it won't allow us to log in again. If you like keep on doing any of the activity in your account, right, you can do any activity after 3 p.m. as well. But once you log out, right, it won't allow us. So these questions you will get in interviews as well as in your certification exams as well. So if login hours configured to the user, after the time frame, after the end time, what will happen? If I'm like, so now it is at 3 p.m., right? Maybe I log in at 2:50. I log in at 2:50. Then it will allow us to log in. Why? Because so we have login in between time frame. So I log in at 2:50 and then I'm like keep on creating data. Then Salesforce never automatically log out. Never automatically log out. If your session is active, then you can keep on performing activities. Then you can keep up to tomorrow morning also. No issue. But once you log out, right, then it never allows us to log in again. Okay. So these two things we can configure in a profile level. So as I mentioned, right, so login IP range as well as login hours in profile level means we can configure in our profile level here. If you would like to modify, you can simply delete and then you can modify. Or if you would like to click on edit, you can modify these values. If you would like to give any new login IP range, you can simply click on new and then you can give access. Okay. Any questions?